The City of Tshwane has signed a memorandum of understanding with national government to deal with water and sanitation challenges. The city has over the years struggled with poor management of infrastructure, which has led to some waterborne diseases in some areas. In 2023, there were cases of cholera outbreaks that claimed lives in the metro. Joining us is Dr. Risimati Mathe, who is the Deputy Director General in the Department of Water and Sanitation. Dr. Mathe, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on Daytime Update.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Mathe, let's just get into the priorities, the top priorities of this memorandum that's been signed with national government and the City of Tshwane to try and curb some of the water challenges there.
Yeah, just to begin with, you will recall that over a year ago, the minister, together with the executive mayor of City of Tshwane, they actually entered into a partnership, which meant that the department had to strategically support City of Tshwane, specifically with the opening remark that I've just mentioned of the issue in Rooiwal as well as Hammanskraal. Now, one of the deliverables which were actually coming up from that conversation, because that is based on your section 15 of our constitution, where we, as the national department, we have a role and a function to support local government. So some of the findings in there was that we need to establish a collaborative effort so that to address issues of skills and capacity challenges that City of Tshwane has been having, which has resulted in the state of collapse of the water and sanitation services. So the MOU seeks to achieve, among others, issues of skills transfer, capacity building. And I must say as well that these are quite common, as you will have known from our blue, green, and not drop result, that the common finding that the department has picked up is that municipalities lack capacity, and this MOU seeks to integrate that we allocate engineers that are candidates that get trained and developed. Over and above that, they will fill in those gaps where City of Tshwane is having. And this is linked to the Engineering Council of South Africa to ensure that we produce qualified and registered engineers to run the water services.
And I see that that is also part of your MOA as you're speaking about the engineers, that it will be a part of it is that there will be an engineering candidacy development program, and that will also assist with that capacity building that you speak of as well. But how soon will the residents of the City of Tshwane be able to reap these benefits?
At the moment, we are finalizing the process to establish the task team. So what will happen is there will be a task team which will be co-chaired by both the department and the City of Tshwane from the Director General's level, from which we are going to then have all the training and development facilities, as well as programs that will link up to that. So there will be like a quarterly report that should go to our executives. Over and above that, the same deliverables needs to be championed and be provided over to the ministerial level. So in a month, that task team should have been developed. The program will be in place, and we're hoping to ensure that at least in the next year or so, we should be able to start seeing some of the results. But this will run for a couple of years until such candidates have actually received full accreditation with EXA, because it will take a while until they've built up the experience.
So for now, it's still basically at its infancy stages. This doesn't mean that in the next month after that has also been formed with the training and development, that there will be an improvement in the water situation there. This is a long-term plan. Is that what you're saying, Dr. Mathe?
It's a medium to long term, but I don't think we should actually divorce the facts that currently there are interventions on the ground which the department is doing in support to City of Tshwane, specifically when we are providing an additional water capacity to support Hammanskraal from a package plant at the Klipdrift water treatment plant. This is meant to bring additional 50 megalitres to areas of Hammanskraal. There's currently a project that are currently happening now at Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant to upgrade and refurbish the plant. So these works that we're talking about, or this candidacy program, does not substitute the current work that is currently happening within the City of Tshwane.
So as it stands, there is work still being done, but this MOU that you've signed is basically to bolster the work that is already being done on the ground now.
Definitely, that's precisely the point. So it's not like nothing is happening. These interventions, as I've said, are currently happening on the ground, which are medium to long term. but also to build up on top of that is to ensure that by the time this whole partnership and collaboration ends, we have built in capacity and City of Tshwane is able to continue offering the service with the right skills within their space. So this is the whole intention. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a great initiative, and one might ask what's taken it so long, because the City of Tshwane has had water problems for over a decade already. And if we consider those deaths that we speak of in Hammanskraal, those cholera deaths, they could have possibly been avoided should a deal and a partnership like this have been reached a little bit sooner, wouldn't you say?
I think it's dual. One of the challenges is when you don't have stable governance, such decisions are quite difficult to reach. And I think that's one thing that even the minister and the executive mayor have alluded to, the fact that the instability within the department in the past years, as well as what happened at City of Tshwane, is what resulted in this kind of delays. But not that Section 154 was not in existence before, because officially the department does offer support throughout the country to different municipalities. But in this case, there was never a MOU between the two entities, and of which one can cite to the fact that the instability in governance, institutional governance, might have had a direct impact on it. But I think it's a thing of the past now. We have gone a mile now, and we're in a stage where at least we can be able to celebrate that there's at least good steps that the two entities have taken to ensure that the people of the City of Tshwane receive efficient services.
And speaking of that issue of instability and governance as well, when it comes to politics, we know that in 2026 we'll be heading to a local government election. It may seem a little bit far for now when we're looking at a national assembly and coming off the back of voting in a general election, but you know, just now it will be those local government elections, and the chances that it will be the same people in charge is not guaranteed. What happens then to this MOU should, let's say, in those next local government elections, the Mayor Celia Brink is no longer the mayor and his team is no longer in charge? Will this plan then still be implemented regardless of which political party wins their fair share at in our capital city?
So the difference about this MOU is it is not actually sitting at a political level where it's only just speeches without any action. This has been actually reduced in writing to an MOU where the two accounting officers, the Director General and the City Manager, signs off. And by the way, the resolution was also passed by Council, so City of Tshwane is actually bound to comply with this. And even if the political leadership was to leave actually the two entities, but because this is bolsters within the executive level and also administrators on the ground, this program should still be able to run, because in a long time, it should be able to benefit those who will remain within the system, far beyond the 5 years that the political term can actually last in a municipality or in government.
Well, that is encouraging to hear. Hopefully it does withstand those political turmoils as well. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us and giving us a bit of clarity when it comes to that MOU. That was the Dr. Risimati Mathe, who's the Deputy Director General at the Department of Water and Sanitation.